2020 came around, his coverage on Trump changed. Even in Jared and Ivanka got ignored, Chris. And what was it? Do you guys figure out why? Why did he turn on Trump?
Well, we should emphasize how important the Drudge Report was to the Trump campaign. Trump had been courting Drudge even since 2015, actually even a few years before that, where he would leak things to Drudge through certain spokespeople. On election night, Bannon and Jared Kushner called Drudge on the phone for advice for what to do with the exit polls coming out, showing that Trump wasn't doing very well. And Drudge told them, said, hold the line. Those are BS polls. Trump is going to win. And then in the aftermath, of course, Drudge was visiting the White House and was speaking with the president and his staff quite often. People saw him there certainly more than once. So he was a part of that in more cases than just somebody influential in the media. Now, the reasons that he turned on Trump, there's a lot of different speculation. But what we've heard from the Trump White House is that there was talk of Drudge not being happy with Trump on immigration. That was a certain policy reason. But we also have an interview coming out very, very soon with a former Drudge Report editor named Joseph Curl, who talks about how members of the Trump White House spoke negatively about Drudge, and it got back to him, kind of took him for granted, said things kind of like, well, who needs Drudge? Who needs a blogger? That kind of talk. And, Drudge has ears everywhere. He hears things. If you say something about him, he will notice it. And that got back to him. And so it could have been a little bit of policy, could have been a little bit personal, but it certainly was a mix that made him turn against Trump in the end.
I believe the immigration thing, because one thing I think we know is that he's good friends with Ann Coulter. And Ann Coulter, of course, everybody now knows, has completely turned on Trump. And if ever there were a single issue voter, it's Ann on immigration. She's devoted her life to this issue. And God, she's being proven right every day on her forecasts. And I think she has Mickey Kaus on all the time. I enjoy her Substack and her submissions. But I think she and Mickey Kaus and Drudge share this one issue as a true passion. So it would make sense, because she was an ardent supporter of Trump's, and what soured her on him? It was he didn't build a wall. And even though he did more certainly than Biden has done on immigration, he didn't really get it done. As we can see, everything he got done got undone as soon as he left office.
Well, Megyn, just to follow up on that, we actually have an interview with Mickey Kaus, who hasn't aired yet, where he talks about a dinner that Ann, Drudge, he had after one of the debates in 2016. So there's definitely a nexus. He's not a stranger to Drudge either. So that is certainly part of it. But let me just add one more thing that I think we heard to what Chris said about why he turned on Drudge. I think those two are crucial. The third is, I think people mistake Drudge for a partisan kind of Republican Party operative sometimes, and he's not that. He likes to be different than what people think. There's a clip from him on C-SPAN in 1999 talking about Pat Buchanan entering the race, saying, "Oh, this would be interesting." I think he always wants to be interesting. I think he wants to go against the grain sometimes. And, after supporting Trump, what's more against the grain than turning around and showing that he's his own man and doesn't necessarily need to follow Trump and do the same thing 4 years later?
Let me tell you a story about a guy named Leo Grillo. Leo was on a road trip and came across a Doberman. This dog was severely underweight and clearly in trouble. Leo rescued the dog and named him Delta. Sadly, Delta was just one of many animals that needed help, and this inspired Leo to start Delta Rescue, the largest no-kill, care-for-life animal sanctuary in the world. They've rescued thousands of dogs, cats, and horses from the wilderness, and they provide their animals with shelter, love, safety, a home, dedication, and everlasting love to animals. That's Leo's mission and his legacy. Delta Rescue relies solely on contributions to stay open. And if you want caring for these animals to be part of your legacy, speak with your estate planner, because there are tax benefits too. You can grow your estate while letting your love for animals live well into the future. Check out the estate planning tab on their website to learn more and speak with your advisor. We call dog a man's best friend for a reason. You can help those who need it most. Visit deltarescue.org today to learn more. That's deltarescue.org. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.